What's up everybody, Damon Hatfield here, Senior Editor at IGN.com. Many of us are excited for the launch of the PlayStation Vita in just a few months. GameStop is already listing the portable for pre-order, along with accessories like memory cards, although we should really call them necessaries because a memory card is required in order to use the Vita. There are 4 different sizes of memory card, from 4 gigs to 32 gigs. Now Vita does not have any internal memory, and although some game cartridges will have their own memory, which is confusing, it's part of the problem, we'll get to that later. Anyway, we need these cards for saving data, storing games, accessing downloaded content. Since this is a necessary accessory and adds to the cost of the Vita, surely Sony has priced it reasonably, right? Unfortunately, no. The 4 gig card will be available for $30, followed by the 8 gig for $45 and the 16 gig for $70. A 32 gig card will also be available for $120. That's nearly half of the system's $250 price. So Sony is charging us anywhere from $4 to $7 per gig of memory. However, the standard price of memory today is $1 a gig or less. You can get a 32 gig SD card for about $32. You can get a 500 gig external hard drive for $85. That works out to 17 cents a gig. So it seems to me that Sony is grossly overcharging for memory cards. Of course, Sony isn't the first company to gouge us for memory. There was a time when a 20 gig hard drive for your Xbox 360 would cost you $120. But that's no excuse. Xbox 360 hard drives can now be had for a reasonable price. Why can't Sony be reasonable? I, and I'm sure many of you, would rather be able to use my choice of existing cheaper memory options. But Sony has a long history of trying to force proprietary media on us, and it fails more often than not. Betamax, minidisc, Super Audio CDs, UMDs. We don't want to use your media, Sony. When are you going to take the hint? Now sure, Sony's a business, it's out to make money, it's taking a loss on each Vita sold. You know what? None of that is our problem. We care about the user experience and about playing games for a fair price. And there is no universe where $30 is a fair price for 4 measly gigs of memory, much less $120 for 32 gigs. Not in 2012. That's insulting. So like I said, you need a Vita memory card in order to use the system. That means the cost of the device isn't really $250, it's at least $280. But we know memory is dirt cheap, so why couldn't Sony have included at least 4 gigs of internal memory, the equivalent to its smallest memory card? A 4 gig SD card is only $5, except in Sony's crazy world where it costs 6 times as much. So I think the Vita has a tough road ahead. Nintendo's 3DS has only been a modest success, and I suspect it is largely because now everyone has a smartphone with ever-improving 99-cent games and plenty of internal memory. Can Sony afford to jack up the cost of the Vita? I don't think so. In the face of strong competition from mobile phone gaming, Sony should be making its dedicated handheld as inexpensive and user-friendly as possible. I'm still excited for a bunch of the Vita games, but the price of the required memory cards is ridiculous. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and feel free to continue the conversation with me, Damon Hatfield, on Twitter.